Hello amazing artist! I have something a little different to what I've been sharing with you recently, and this piece that I'm sharing with you today is really a personal project that I just did for me. So it has no purpose, it's just art for art's sake. Recently I've been trying to prioritise making art over the processing of art. So things like video making, writing scripts, writing copy, processing photos. All of this takes so long to do that sometimes I just don't have time to do the actual art part. And I can go for weeks without doing any art. I know, it just seems like the wrong way round, doesn't it? Getting that balance right is really difficult, and I still haven't worked out how to do it. So sometimes I try to prioritise the art over the production side, and I'm going through one of those moments at the moment. And this is one of the pieces that has come out of that, just sort of prioritising doing whatever I want to do, really, without having to think, well, this has got to turn out to be a video, or this has got to turn out to be an Instagram post, or, you know, all that kind of stuff. So one of the things that I've been really enjoying doing, and I think I've mentioned it here already before, is drawing and painting animals. And my patrons know that I've been pretty obsessed with parrots and hares. Don't really know why, but they've been cropping up quite a lot. They kind of reoccur. You know, a parrot will just appear in a doodle, or a hare in a painting, whatever it is. So, well, yeah, spoiler alert, a hare is going to turn up on this piece. Do you have anything like that? Anything that keeps sort of cropping up? Some reoccurring theme that you just keep getting drawn to? If you do, I'd love to hear what it is, so do let me know in the comments. Hopefully it's not just me. There must be something that's pulling you at the moment. What do you think? Or maybe you're just into your abstracts or your flowers or anything like that. Tell me what you're really getting up to at the moment with your art. I would love to hear. Now I think that with my animal work at the moment, for a lot of it, it's really just exploring looks and styles and techniques. And there's just so many ways that you can make art, isn't there? And it's fun to just play and explore and help yourself to work out what you like, what you're suited to, and just the way you want to make the art or what look you're trying to get. This page started with a few random paint layers on a page in my junk journal that already had some paint on it. So very much like any start for any piece of work that I do, if I'm working in my junk journal, yeah, this is a very common way it will start. And I built up some more colour on here. I wasn't really thinking about where it was going to go, I was just adding some colour. And whilst the paint was still wet, I decided to also draw into it just a few shapes, put in some random mark making using water reactive pencils, and another thing that I've been really enjoying playing with is using water reactive pencils, something like an Inktense pencil, and using it in wet paint. So whilst the paint is still wet, you kind of etch out into it, and it will add colour and it will move paint around as it does so as well, and then it will also mix, and then you can also add in more water, and that brings out the colour from the pencil some more, and just see what kind of marks, what kind of textures come out from that. And I've really been enjoying that. It's great fun to play with. As you know when you watch my videos, I really love exploring how my materials work together. And I'm not too concerned about, you know, the right way of doing something, the right way of using something. I'm not concerned really about the rules, so to speak. I just like to try stuff out, see what will happen. And if it works, that's great. If it doesn't, then, well, I've learned something. I think we can get too hung up with sort of the right way to do something, that fear of, I don't know what it is, maybe it's a fear of sort of showing yourself up if you use something the wrong way. But I don't actually think there's a wrong way. There's a way that might work for you and there's a way that might not work for you, but you're not going to know until you play. And if you don't do that kind of playing, you kind of miss out on those unique discoveries. So yeah, give yourself some time to do that. Just mess about. Don't worry if you're using your paint in what someone else might say is the wrong way. It doesn't matter. Anyway, that's just my random thought for the day, and if it helps you to explore a little bit more of your art and it gives you permission to just mess around, then that's great. I hope it does. There's something about the ears and hairs that really fascinate me. The ones that I've been drawing recently have had very long ears, probably a bit too long. But the only drawback of that is it never leaves much room for the rest of the hair. So I seem to be doing a lot of sort of face and ear pieces. I'm not really sure what look I'm really trying to find with my hairs yet, but I'm trying not to overthink it and just trying to keep going with them, keep doing it, and hoping that during this process, if I keep at it, then that look or whatever it is that I'm trying to find will happen. But it does require me to do it. It does require me to spend some time to draw the hairs, to keep on drawing, keep on painting them, and, you know, prioritizing doing this kind of art for myself work. And part of prioritizing art for art's sake, doing projects that are just for you, don't have to end up as something, is to give you time and space to just play and explore. And you really need that as an artist. You really need that as a creative. Creative kind of splits their time, if they're working full-time as a creative, kind of split their time between doing art or creative activities that are going to go into their business to help them bring in revenue and things like that. But you also need to have that time where you just play and explore and look at various aspects of your own creative process. And that really does feed back into everything else you do. But we all know how hard it is to make time for projects that might maybe at that moment seem frivolous to you, particularly if you don't have an immediate, tangible outcome from it. It might feel like wasted time. But if you stick with them and give them value by prioritizing them into your schedule, well, anything that I've done that to, I've found that the time really does pay off and it is really worth taking. Knowing which of these things that you're drawn to prioritise, on the other hand, is a little harder. But I think that if you keep finding yourself going back to the same thing again and again, that's probably worth pursuing. So also, as part of this trying to prioritise my animal work, particularly at the moment, I've been thinking that maybe I should do one of those challenges too, like the 100-day challenge, you know, those kind of things. See if I can really carve out some time each day just to explore and have something to focus on, some piece of work that will just keep me going every day, keep me turning up, doing the work, and hopefully progressing through it. But I don't know, a 100-day challenge, I find it's, it feels a bit pressured. Don't know, have you tried the 100-day challenges? I mean, I've done things like the Inktober challenge for a month. I'm probably not going to do that this year, but maybe I'll do something like a 7-day challenge and see where I go with that, see what happens out of that. Something really focused. I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud. We'll see. I hope you're able to give yourself some time today to do some art that is really calling to you, something that you've maybe meaning to do but you haven't managed to fit in, some sort of personal project. I hope that you find some time to prioritise it, make it something that is worth pursuing by just doing it and pursuing it and seeing what happens, and don't worry about the outcome. So I've been making a lot of idea and prompt videos recently to help you focus your creative time. So if you do need a little bit more focus like this, and those kind of ideas to try and prompts help you, then have a look at my channel. I've got plenty of those videos going on there. And I've also got a lot of ideas for arting in these videos here as well. So go watch those for some more mixed media fun. And of course, keep looking after yourself. I hope you're doing really well wherever you are, or at least as well as you possibly can. And I will see you soon for some more art and another art video share. Take care. Bye.